poorer mental health in human beings actually is associated with more behavioral issues about our pets. Let me explain this to you. Very often, I can tell more about the person I'm working with because of the behavior of the dog. Let's take Lily Tomlin, for example. God bless her. I adore Lily Tomlin, became a really close friend, and I worked with not only her dog, but I actually worked with one of her goats named Bucky. She had a little Norwich Terrier named Tess. Beautiful little dog. And when I got to start working with the dog, in fact, I went out to LA. She actually lived in the old W.C. Fields estate, which was interesting because all the props from the movie, The Incredible Shrinking Woman, were at her house. The big rocking chair, the big cassette player. But anyway, I started working with her dog, Tess. And I noticed that Tess had multiple personalities. Now, I know what you're thinking, come on, Warren. But the dog legitimately had multiple personalities. And I was thinking to myself, what could possibly cause this dog? It's not living with a lot of people. Sometimes they could have different personalities. There's a bunch of people in the house. But then it occurred to me that Lily practices several different personalities throughout the day. She might be Ernestine at one time and a different person at the other time. So the fact that her dog Tess was living with her and she was practicing all of these different personalities was a bit confusing to the dog. And the dog's personalities changed at the same time. It was just absolutely fascinating to watch that. So one of the things that's really interesting to understand is that very often when I'm working or training a dog, and even with your own dogs, you should take a look at family members. If someone in the family is overly anxious, if someone in the family is depressed, or if someone in the family is fearful, these all come together and affect the behavior of our dogs and our cats. So it's important to remember, very often the most important thing that you can do when you're trying to figure out why your dog or cat behaves a certain way is just simply look in the mirror, look at the other family members. Let's face it, I've said this a million times, go into the typical home and the husband tells the dog to jump up, the wife tells the dog to get down, grandma comes over and tells the dog whatever she wants to tell the dog, the kids tell the dog something entirely different, someone says come and they walk away, the dog doesn't respond. That's when the dog dials me up. Says, hey, Warren, it's not easy living with human beings. Let's face it. They're making me neurotic here. They're making me crazy. The definition of neurosis is not having any feasible choice. One person tells me to jump up. One person tells me to get down. That's why when you adopt a new dog or you're bringing in a new cat or a new dog, before you bring that pet into the household, it's really important for everyone to sit down and have a legitimate family discussion in terms of what are the expectations? Who's going to walk the dog? Who's going to feed the dog? Who's going to train the dog? Are we going to train the dog the same way as before? A prime example of that is when I go into a home and the dog looks up and says, hey, Warren, please help. Get some consistency here.